Hello everybody and welcome back to Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson, and today I have another Raiding the Rack video for you, and I have two wonderful plants I found when I was out there again to show you now. Now, the first one I'm going to show you is this. Oh, if I can get it up. This beautiful Goeppertia Insignis. It's an absolutely wonderful plant. I've been looking for this for a while, and then all of a sudden I was in a shop and they had two examples, and this was the better one of the two. It's not absolutely perfect. It's very dry in its pot. I mean, it's bone dry. Now, we know these kind of plants in the Marantaceae family should never be bone dry. They should always be moist. And this seems to still be thriving kind of okay. So when I finish talking about it here, I'm going to put it in a glass bowl with water and let it soak up as much as possible so you can see how it looks now and how it looks later. Now, this plant was previously classed as Calathea lancifolia. That is what most of you will know this plant as. So if I take you in for a closer look, this is what the wonderful leaves look like. This is commonly known as the rattlesnake plant, and you can kind of see why. It's got these leaves that look like the rattle on a rattlesnake. And the colouring is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Striking colours. Again, that kind of light green with those streaks of dark green going through it, giving that rattlesnake kind of look, I think. I don't know. I mean, for me, it just looks like a beautiful plant. The leaves are just... they're very thick, they're very leathery, and those patternings are really like deep into the leaf. And on the back side, if you look here, the leaves have that beautiful burgundy colour all the way through them, dark burgundy on these, and that's very characteristic of all the plants that are in the Marantaceae family. Not all of them, but most of them have this beautiful burgundy colour in the bottom. It looks like a completely different plant underneath, doesn't it? It's absolutely beautiful. There are lots of stems in here, and, you know, it's still looking quite okay despite being bone dry in the bottom. And this one leaf is showing the signs of drying. Look at that, it's browning. That's what happens, it's browning there. That's what happens if it's not watered. Another one here, browning. So I'll just chop those two off. It looks like they were two newer leaves, and as they were coming up, because there was no moisture, they browned out. But the older leaves actually are quite okay, even though it's bone dry. And it really must be because this plant has much thicker, leathery leaves, which means that even though it needs moisture, it must be able to cope with a little bit of drought because this leathery texture is holding moisture in the leaves anyway. I mean, what a beautiful plant. Absolutely amazing. I'm so glad I found it. What did I give for it? 169 kronas for a decent sized plant like this. Absolutely beautiful. Now, before I carry on to the next plant that I want to show you, I'm just going to go ahead and chop off these brown leaves straight away so I can see what I have left. There's no point those being in the way of all the new growth that is looking really good. There's just a little one here, quite browned out. Little tiny one at the bottom. Little bits of bobs in between that are dried. I've noticed on Calathea, when you've got dry bits and you think you can just pull them off, you can't. They just won't come off. And I've noticed that very much on my Stromanthi. It has a lot of browning leaves, and there's a lot of dense foliage, so it's hard sometimes to get that leaf, and I just want to pull it off, and it just won't come off. So you have to get scissors, and you have to get in there and really prune them off by hand, like that. Now, this is not too bad, so just a little bit off to encourage more new growth again. And then what I'm going to do straight away is put this beautiful plant into a glass bowl. I have a glass bowl here so I can show you. A glass bowl, because it's so dry, I have water on the side. Now I always have water around the edge of my indoor terrace garden. This is good because the water evaporates into the air and gives humidity to the plants. And I have Calathea along the edge here. And also Calathea don't like water directly from the tap. It needs to stand for at least 24 hours. So any of the chemicals or any of the substances that have been put into the water to clean the water and so forth, evaporate out as much as possible. These plants are very sensitive to anything artificial being added to their water, and that includes fertilizer. You need to be really careful. You can fertilize these plants, but you need to be really careful about the amount. Put a lesser dosage in when you want to fertilize them than it says on the bottle or the package or whatever, and only fertilize them in the growing season or when they're growing indoors. If you've got artificial light, they could be growing season all year. But when they're growing new leaves, now and again, you can try to add a little bit of fertilizer, just a little bit at a time and see. I mean, a tiny bit. Don't put too much, not like your other plants. But basically, my plants, I just give them water from the tap that stood for 24 hours. It's room temperature. Never give your house plants cold water from the tap. You will shock the roots, and that is a sure way with time to kill your plant. It's just like someone throwing a bucket of ice cold water on your head. The shock, yeah, that's what plants do not like. So room temperature. Now I'm going to let this bowl fill up with water and let this plant suck up the water from the bottom as much as it needs, so that I know that it's got a nice even level of water all the way through its soil. There, it's just about to tip, so I know that was enough water to keep it balanced. And then I'm just going to put this plant over on the side here to soak up that water while I talk about the next plant. And then I will show you this plant again later and see if there's any difference in how it looks. Okay, now the next plant I have to show you is surely just beautiful. And I mean, I haven't been looking for one of these plants. I was just out, and the store I was in isn't a plant centre. It is a lifestyle store that has all sorts of knickknacks for your home and for your garden area, but they've designed it so that you can go 2 floors and look at all these designer things for your home, plus dotted all over the shop and around the windows and on the shelves, they have different types of beautiful plants. And they've actually, I just noticed this time because I haven't been in there for a while, they source plants that are quite rare or quite hard to find, big, or just not your normal house plants. And I came across this beautiful plant. They've also got a cafe there, and it's full of plants all around, so you're looking at them and you're feeling the energy and everything. Now, they're really smart in this place because they put the plants around the cafe and everything, especially the biggest area of their plants, so that when you're eating and drinking your coffee, you're sitting, you're feeling the plants, you're feeling the atmosphere, you're seeing the green, you're smelling the plants, and their energy is flowing through you, and you're feeling so good, and you're just like, oh, I've got to have me a plant home. I was just walking around and it was like that for me. So anyway, I better get this plant up. So this is the next beautiful plant I have to show you here. Now, once again, this plant had not been watered for a long time in that store. It is hanging down and dried out, but I know that once I water this plant, it will bounce back and it will be beautiful. This plant has the most beautiful green colour on the surface of the leaf, and through that green colour you get this kind of really intricate patterning of lime green as you see through the light. So that looks really, really nice on top. But not just that. When you look under the leaves, they have a beautiful burgundy and green flush of colour. And wow, I mean, as a hanging plant, you couldn't get better because you get to see the foliage of green on top, and then when you're sitting underneath, you see the burgundy and green through it as well. It's got a tiger kind of like patterning on it. It's very intricate. It's really, really nice. So I need to show you this a bit closer. So remember, this plant is very dehydrated. It's been quite neglected in that shop. But it's in a nice big pot here, which is great. And, oh, that's good. This pot actually doesn't have holes all the way through. So when I water it, it's not going to flood out all over the place. I was going to actually put it into a bowl as well. Oh, yes, it has got holes in the middle. Sorry. Yes, it has got 4 holes, but they're just up in a, if I show you, they're right up inside a hole, so I couldn't see them there. So look at this plant. The leaves are just beautiful. Look at that. A whole jungle of beautiful leaves, and can you see the patterning in them? Absolutely exquisite. Really nice. I can't wait for this to plump up and look beautiful. And I'm going to see if I can lift up so that you can see, or lay down. So if I hold it this way around, I'm in the jungle, and you can see that beautiful burgundy colour underneath the leaves, together with the green. What a fascinating plant. What an absolutely beautiful contrast. This I'm going to now have hanging over our dining room table so that we can see that beautiful burgundy colour from underneath and the green flush from the top. It's just going to be wonderful. Look at that. Wow. So I saw this, and it's a really big example of this plant. So I'm really happy about that. I know it's going to bounce back. We're going to be good to go in no time. So I can't wait to get this watered now. So I will actually put it straight into a glass bowl and let it suck up the water. Oh, I'm loving that. Look at that. So that is another example of a plant that I found when I was just out and about. And, well, basically I was just going to find some food so I can make dinner for us later. And then I went into this home store, and then I discovered that they have got quite a few beautiful specialist plants in there that I didn't realise. So I really need to get some water into this plant because it's extremely dehydrated and it really is hanging now. So now I have a bowl. Just need to get a tray, a bowl, and a can of water. If I use this, have I just filled that one up? I'm not sure. Let's check. This one. Check the temperature. Same temperature. So, here we go. Another can of water. Fill up the bowl. Oh, listen to the sound of water. Running water. It's also very relaxing, isn't it? And this plant is, oh, it can hear it. It can't wait. I can feel it. It just wants to get into the water. It's like, sink me, sink me. There we go. And there it goes. So now, I'll leave that to soak in the water as well. Now, this Calathea has soaked up quite a lot of water, and it's starting to fold its leaves up, as you can see here. Now, this is quite interesting, so I'll show you this close up. It's evening now, so all the plants in the Marantaceae family, they fold their leaves up or together in some way to reserve humidity around their core during the evening time when temperatures fall and the humidity falls, so they hold tight together. So this has started going up because we're in the evening now, and tomorrow all these leaves will be laying out much flatter again. But I just think that is so exciting because you see your plants during the day change form quite clearly, and this is a lot clearer than many other species of plants. The Marantaceae plants, they move an awful lot during the day. They make me jump sometimes because they suddenly boing up and move around. So this is really getting together, and it's so nice because you get to see the burgundy underneath the leaves in the evenings, and in the daytime you get to see the green and the rest of the beautiful patterning on top of the leaves. So it's a lovely, lovely plant once again. So anyway, I think this is actually quite ready to be taken out of the water, otherwise it's going to get waterlogged. And then I need to let some of the excess water drain out again, and then it's ready to go in its cover pot. And tomorrow, it should be absolutely beautiful. It's already looking very stiff and beautiful and full of life again. It's looking very, very good actually. So that was nice. When I was in the store, the woman said to me, oh, but they don't need much water. And I'm like, well, I have quite a few plants at home, and I know that plants in the Marantaceae family do not like to dry out. They like to be kept moist. They don't like to be soaked, but they like to be kept moist. I'm soaking this because it was just so dry, and that's going to be fine. It'll run out. And then I won't have to water it again for a while. So I just want to give it a good start now that it's moved here. And the same with the Aeschynanthus longicaulis. It also is so dry, but that is, I can't wait to see how this plumps up tomorrow. It's going to be really, really lovely. And then I can hang it straight above the kitchen table. So that was all I have to show you in this Raiding the Rack video and the rehydrating of my beautiful Goeppertia Insignis and my beautiful Aeschynanthus longicaulis. Two beautiful plants, and they are just going to be wonderful now as part of my beautiful houseplant collection. So, thank you once again for watching Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video will be uploaded, and I will see you in another video again very soon. Goodbye.